Hi everyone. This podcast specially focused on MSP and primarily for the MSP profitability. So before that, if we can talk about the MSP market size, the global market size is very huge and it's growing. And if we can define the MSP in our term, the MSP or service provider who is providing the services on top of cloud or backup or data security or disaster recovery. So these kind of things, if a service provider is providing these kind of services, then we call them as a MSP right now. If you can value the global market size, it was almost 186 billion in 2020, and it's growing with almost 12% CAGR as of now. So the market size is very huge, and it's a growing market. Uh, if we can talk about the India market, so India market was almost 4.3 billion in 2020, and it's also growing by 28% CAGR every year. So then, because of the digital focus in India, the MSP opportunity is very huge. So, in that context, we want to understand that how the MSP can grow their profitability, how they can grow their margins, and also the top line. So, I want to introduce my two very special guests today. So, my first guest is Mr. Pasha. So, Pasha is SVP, APJ and MEA region for Acronis in sales and global channels. And Pasha has very good, rich experience by working with leadership team of Microsoft, Parallels, Ingram Micro. So he has very good insight. And apart from that, I have second guest, Mr. Peter. So Peter himself was MSP, so he understands this space very well. And prior to that, he was working with ESAT, which is the prominent security service provider. So we want to understand from both of them about the MSP market and also the profitability. So let's start with Pasha first. So, Pasha, I want to understand from your point of view that what is the real definition of MSP and how they can increase their profitability. Because Acronis, we know that Acronis is known for platform provider. They always recommend, okay, we are the platform provider. You can build your own product on top of that. But most of the MSPs still they are not able to package, or they are not able to use Acronis as a platform. They are still reselling the Acronis right now. So I want to understand from your side, and you know that you are meeting with many of the partners on the ground. So I think your insight will be helpful, Pasha.
Yeah, well, good afternoon, Munesh. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, it's definitely a hot topic currently in IT industry worldwide. So, Acronis invested a lot of efforts, not only in building the platform for MSPs that I hope everybody know as Acronis Cyber Cloud, but also investing into the knowledge and market research and understanding of this MSP market. So I hope our insights and my personal experience will be helpful for the audience. I think over the past 5 years, I'm in Acronis. I met maybe with more than thousands of MSPs worldwide in different countries, including developed countries, including developing countries, and apparently will share with you my idea about that. So first of all, Munesh, you're absolutely right. It's about the definition of managed service provider, and it turns out that in different countries, in different markets, the definitions are different. So what you probably will hear, for example, in Australia, what MSP is, will be pretty much different compared to India or to Germany or to, I don't know, South Africa. And that's the reality we as software live in. And that's why we try to put some systematic approach to our engagement with this market. So first of all, we combine different type of service providers, right? Because as you mentioned, it's not only service providers, it can be hosting service providers, it can be connectivity service providers, ISPs. So there are different kind of families of companies that can be called SPs. And the largest community is actually those who used to be IT resellers or smaller system integrators. So the numbers we operate with show that worldwide there are almost 250,000 of companies that can be called service providers to a certain extent. But then devil is in details, as usually, because when we talk to partners and we try to segment them on this MSP scale, the vital question is how much of revenue, how much of business a particular company gets from providing services, right? Rather than reselling hardware and software. And in quite many cases, companies get less than 30% of their total revenues from services. And based on kind of behavior of these companies, it's quite difficult to call them managed service providers. They can be emerging MSPs, they can be other type of service providers, they can be just resellers that sell cloud services, right? They can sell Microsoft, they can sell Google, they can sell Amazon, they can sell Acronis, they can sell you name it, but still they would be more like a resellers versus MSPs. So we differentiate with relatively simple question. Do you provide managed IT services to your customers? Do you manage IT for your customers? Because if not, it's likely a reseller model, which a bit different, to say at least from MSP model. But if they do, then we're talking about managed service providers. Now, what we see is that more companies are evolving to that model because MSP model looks like, first of all, the total market for managed services is growing, as you said. Second, MSPs currently, they enjoy higher margins, right? Because they do not only resell commodity services, software and hardware on a very highly competitive markets, like in IT market. In any country, this market is very competitive. But they provide value add service and they actually build long-term relationship with customers, and they basically get more margin on that, right? Because they can provide more value and thus charge more. So how to increase the profitability? I would say there are three simple ways. So first of all is when a particular company is thinking about a customer base, companies should think in a way, what are the workloads, IT workloads that are there? How many servers, how many workstations, how many virtual machines, how many M365 seats the customers have? And then think, okay, what kind of additional services I can attach to more number of these workloads? And that gives a good kind of growth scenarios or growth strategies that, for example, if you're a company focusing only on Microsoft 365, but you sell it to customers that operate notebooks, servers, personal computers, you can offer something for that segment as well, and eventually kind of expand with the same set of customers. So it's not something kind of out of space, right? It's very practical. The second way to grow it is actually to look at the portfolio of services and think what you can offer to your customers, again, serving these workloads. And you can start with very basic thing like Again, we started with Microsoft example. I know that in India, Microsoft is very strong, and most of companies do something with Microsoft. So let's continue this example. You're selling Microsoft 365, and you provide installation and configuration services. Uh, Obviously, you can expand it to like tenant management services that charged on monthly or annual basis. Yeah, that's great. But also you can start thinking, okay, what can I add to this and provide additional value to the customers that I can charge for? And then, for example, email security comes in, right? And you can choose email security from Microsoft, obviously. You can choose email security from some other vendors, but eventually you can provide a more sophisticated service for existing workload. It gets much more interesting when it gets to servers and workstations, because for servers and workstations, when you provide managed service, you start security, you start backup, you start disaster recovery for critical servers, you start vulnerability assessment, you start remote management of multiple workloads. So with that in mind, that's the second growth opportunity. And the third, last but not the least, it's where we play as Acronis as a vendor, and we provide that value to managed service providers, is how you manage your costs on your tools, right? As MSP, you need to use tools to basically provide the service. And with that, of course, a solution from single vendor with a single agent on a workload that includes all the common services, like, as I said, cybersecurity, backup, disaster recovery, management, and some automation. Obviously, you reduce your costs, licensing costs, training costs, and make your technicians more productive so they can serve more customers. And you, with that, you actually reduce your personnel costs as well, or at least on the same customer base. So my advice to everyone, think about these three vectors and see what you can do with your existing base, and see what you can do with your existing tools.
Thank you, Pasha. I think these are very important insights. I just want one or two point, and then we'll go to the Peter. Uh, you have mentioned very important point that they have to provide the managed services, and then they can increase the profitability. But these days, only challenge the partners are facing are the manpower resources, because not all system integrators or resellers, they have the efficient manpower, and they are not able to hire the manpower because they don't have the margins. So that is the problem they are facing as of now on the ground reality, because I discussed with few of the system integrators, and they mentioned the same thing. So I would like to suggest one or two point to those partners, that I understand the cost challenge is there for some of the partners. For time being, or on the longer term, they can do the P2P arrangement with other partners. So what we are also doing internally, that we can't do everything, right? We have to do the partnership with any other partners who is efficient in some area, right? So I think with doing the P2P in the backend, because customer want one contact. So if they have the contact, and in the backend, if they can do the P2P with the other partner, then this problem may resolve on some extent, right? And one of the important point I want to highlight here is the competition. If every partner is going to the customers with the same product, right, then always the competition is there, because customer will compare with, okay, I'm getting the X prices with the partner, and Y prices with that partner, so they will just play together, and the ultimate margin is going very down, very low. So for that, something, it cannot be changed, because it will take some time, but we can suggest few things. Let's say example, they can create different packages which may be different from other partners, and they may be unique for some partners or some MSPs. By leveraging the Acronis platform, they can create their own packages by using advanced packs or some other security aspects. And also, not every time customer has to sorry, MSP has to pitch Acronis as a Acronis. Okay, we are selling Acronis, we are selling Acronis backup. They can co-brand, they can white label the backup as a service. Okay, I'm selling backup as a service. Forget who is in the background, because Acronis always recommend that partner or MSP has to sell Acronis as a platform, or with your brand. But not all partners are using these capabilities, and this is the good capabilities there, right? So these are my point, and if you have any comment, Pasha, you can. Otherwise, we can go to the Peter.
Yeah, I fully agree. Munesh, great points. Yeah, let's pass to Peter.
Okay. Yes,
Great. Well, if I may chime in there, I think you touched on some valuable and key points there that we need to or should discuss further, that define what an MSP is versus what a traditional S. And even though there is a lot of overlap nowadays and we appeal to a broader audience with what we have to offer and with the tool set, and this functionality can be distributed or offered by any one of the SIs, traditional VARs, and MSPs. So coming back to the core topic here, being MSP centric, it's important to discern, and even though there are differences from market to market, it's important to discern what the essence of an MSP is. And I think there is a universal thing for what it is, but maybe how it's executed and how it's presented in different markets is what makes it different. And what an MSP effectively is it's managed service. So if a company is not able to offer the resourcing or the staffing or the manpower to manage the services in the first place in their current model, they wouldn't really fall in the classification of MSP. It doesn't mean that the product set is not suitable for them to sell on. But an MSP is not going out to sell antivirus or endpoint protection or monitoring or patch management. That is not their sale. They do not publish a list of services. Buy any one of these from us, tick it from a list, and we'll just add a markup and a margin, and you go on your merry way. An MSP is there to take industry standards, to take technical best practices, to find the right tools for the job that help them manage their own cost base, enable their resources and their team, and define the requisite processes to offer a bouquet of services, solutions, and effectively offer peace of mind to the customer. Because this customer, I think 10 years ago, 15 years ago, they would have traditionally, even as a small business, might have in-house IT that they are trying to now displace with a fixed cost model offered through an MSP. And the MSP can go on and introduce device as a service with security, with patch management, with end-to-end email, collaboration, the full stack of services down to firewall management, internet management, whatever it might be. And it can be also tailored to a specific industry. And I think the nicest way to distill this is this analogy I've seen quite broadly used for, an MSP's offering. It's the chocolate cake analogy. Effectively, the managed service provider is, they shouldn't be selling chocolate cake, but let's just say their service is chocolate cake. Now, if you go from one retailer or one supermarket or one baker to another, they all have different variations of the chocolate cake. And these chocolate cake makers, they have to use effectively the same ingredients. So it's not about, we all use this brand of flour or this brand of sugar or this brand of butter, or that is not what makes the chocolate cake valuable. That's what, it's the combination of those ingredients, the process followed, the recipe, the attention and the care that goes into making it, that allow one retailer to charge X for their chocolate cake, and people will happily pay for it. There's no defined price for a chocolate cake in any case. One can be 10 times the price of your supermarket's cake, and people will rather go and buy that. And I think that is the biggest focus an MSP should consider when they are building their packaging and their offering. It's not about razor thin margins to undercut the other guy on the same product, on the same offering. It's what is their secret recipe? What is their process that differentiates them? And how do they present that through to the customers? I mean, all IT resellers and VAR traditional VARs, they have a captive customer base that they've been passing equipment onto for years. Now, how do they convert this into an MSP customer base is, I think, the question. And it goes back to what Pasha mentioned earlier about number of workloads that this customer has. How do we introduce a solution that we can commoditize or productize our skill set, our secret sauce, our chocolate cake to appeal to this customer? And then rinse, wash, repeat. Basically, how can I standardize this recipe and make it more efficient, buy in bulk where I have to, and bring in all the ingredients and the team to make healthy margins on that.
So Peter, I think you touched very, very important points in terms of how you can package your offering and how we can simplify the offering to the customers, right? If we will give, many options, very complex option. Okay, you have 100 employees, and in 100 employees, we will give you this and that, and very, very complex architecture. Then they will take their own time to decide the thing. Okay, I will talk to my IT team, and then I will decide everything they will do, right? So the only point is that how we can standardize, or we can give very non-techy packages to our customers so that they will able to understand. Okay, you have 100 people. In 100 people, these 10 people are very, very important. You need top level security for these kind of people. So that can be bundled with Acronis, or we can bundle, let's say example, I'm just giving the example of Microsoft 365. So you should take Microsoft 365 this package plus Acronis this package, and then you can ensure at least that you have the highest level security for these 10 people. And for rest of the 40 people, you can take standard security by these component. And from Acronis side, we can create the packages by combining with other product, and we can give the insight in very, very non-tacky language rather than tacky language, right? So that they will able to understand, and as a MSP, they will also able to differentiate themselves among the customers.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of strategy can work. I will give you one or two more example in that. For Microsoft 365 backup. So Pasha, I have given this point to you earlier also, that currently not every email provider, including Microsoft or Google, uh, they are they always recommend to customer to take their own backup, because uh, backup is not included in those packages all the time. So they always recommend, okay, you take the backup at your end, and for as a customer, it's my responsibility to take the backup on some other location. Because in any case, if I will not able to access my email, then I will have at least the backup at my end, right? So these kind of packages, along with the productivity solutions like Microsoft or Google, we can create the package and we can offer to the customers. And in Acronis itself, there are multiple add-ons, packs are available. by using them we can differentiate, or we can create my own package, and I need to simplify those packages so that the customer can understand in the non-techy language, right? So I think with these insights, or with these inputs, and by packaging strategy, uh, MSP can understand that what I'm selling, and the customer can understand what I am getting, and also we can simplify the offering as per my understanding.
Okay, if I may chime in there, it's really to present a set of very technical and complex solutions to a customer and take away the technical complexity. It sounds near impossible, because to the person who compiled this offering, they put a lot of technical thought into it, and to them what makes this offering so robust and so profound and prominent and valuable to the customer is purely based on its technical clout and how technically strong it is. But we need to also understand, what does the customer understand about this broad space, and what really is relevant to them. And I think that the simpler the better. Customers, when they're buying a managed service, they're after the service part, they're after it being hands off from them. And so in other words, they're after peace of mind. And I think the degree, or the focal point that you go to, rather than includes XYZ technical feature, advanced this, advanced that, which is important for the MSP to include. But for the customer, it's really, as you used in your example, a 100-user company, we have 10 execs who really need ultimate peace of mind. And maybe that's what we make the package. It's, ultra secure or ultra peace of mind versus standard secure or standard peace of mind. Name it as you want, but the core proposition is around maybe the after hours support that's offered with the premium package, the on-site support capability, or the direct support access, turnaround times and SLAs for one package versus another, and not so much, while we bolstered this package up with every technical product on the market, because now you're presenting more concerns for the customer. Well, why must I go understand what Microsoft does or doesn't do? You're selling it to me as a managed service provider. You need to be confident that it's secure. You need to be confident that it's backed up. So by default, you should be including, if Microsoft recommends us that we do, that you back up your Microsoft 365, that should be in your core offering even. I know it's an extra cost, but it's how well you sell on the rest of it and the peace of mind to the customer that is going to allow you to move up a package or go to a higher margin offering. End of the day, if you can get all 100 workloads on your mid package rather than 90 of them on your entry package and 10 of them on your premium package, there should typically be a richer margin for you as a MSP if you bring them all to your target package, your mid-tier or your upper-tier package. So in terms of packaging, I would say, to summarize, demystify the technical side, or don't focus on the technical selling. Sure, it needs to be backed by something technically strong. It's not smoke and mirrors. So when the customer wants to look under the hood and they have a strong or technical, an administrator or IT guy or someone who knows what they're talking about, you can showcase it to them and actually get them excited by how powerful and how capable it is. But when you're selling it to the business, they just want to know the peace of mind that you present to them with this offering. Pasha, I don't know if you want to add anything in on that?
Well, you said it very, very well. I mean, indeed, it's all about packaging, and it's all about solving real needs for a particular customer. So, yeah, I don't think I have anything particular to add here.
Good. You're on mute.
You're on mute, Munesh.
Sorry. Peter, you touched very, very important points already. I just want to add a few more points. That Acronis is not a product; it's a platform, and there are n number of opportunities are there for MSP to create their own bundling and packaging, right? So we were discussing internally, okay, how we can, let's say, how we can offer the good antivirus solution to for our customers, because when the customer think, okay, I want to purchase the antivirus, then 3 4 companies are coming in our mind, that how we will position ourselves as an antivirus provider. The internal uh, mechanism is there, that it's a piece of Acronis. Antivirus is a piece of Acronis. So you can just pull the Acronis antivirus from the platform, and you can create your own SKU. Okay, this is my antivirus. Even by providing 1 GB of space for one user, you will able to provide the entire capabilities of antivirus to the customers, right? In the PG model, even if you are providing a 1 GB space to your customers, you are providing the entire functionality of antivirus to your customers, or anti ransomware facility of of to your customers. So it's a right packaging. How you are defining the packages to the customers, the opportunity is huge, right? And for for the selling strategy, Peter, actually, uh, you mentioned that we should create the different packages for the customers, starting from premium, standard, or let's say starter packages. As per my understanding, the selling of those packages are very important, that how we are selling. If we are selling with technical way, that okay, these are the 3 packages, you can choose in one of them, standard, starter, standard, and premium. Or we can start with business logic. Okay, how we can start? Okay, you need, let's say, BMW or Mercedes, right? Or you want the top level security, because your business value is very huge, you are running the $1 million business already, and the security is very important. So if you want top level security, then this is my recommendation. Now I have 2 more packages. I'm not saying that they are not secure, but this is the top level security. So you can just value your business, and then you can value your packages. Okay, this is the amount I'm paying, right? So sometime when, let's say example, my package cost is $1,000 per month, right? This is the one way of thinking. Okay, I'm spending $1,000. Okay, very huge. It's very huge for me. I cannot spend $1,000 for this kind of security, or this kind of packages. Then we can compare the same thing with the threat you will get if you will not implement these packages. Or just imagine you are hiring one more people, which is very junior person you are hiring in the company. Their his or her salary is bigger than this. Just compare what you are getting. You can compare with the cup of coffee, or you can compare with the Starbucks coffee, and with the packages we are selling. So it's a way of selling also, Peter and Pasha, that how we are selling the packages. If we are just explaining the, okay, these are the features, and you can compare this, we are better than this company, better than that company, then the pitch will be different, rather than starting the pitch with the business value and what we are giving as a package.
Absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there. It's value-based selling. The moment we start selling on features, us as Acronis, as a vendor, we appeal to the technical person and to the company the partner that we're speaking to, based on the feature set and the peace of mind and the simplification we offer them with our platform. But that layer, that discussion changes to the next tier when the partner goes through to the customer, because they're not assessing us typically on the same merits. Of course, if someone's got a tender or a proposal request out for an antivirus product, as you said, They are going to be looking at a pre-drawn matrix, probably given by one of the vendors, of features that must be included, and then it's going to come down to a very technical and detailed sell. But with the managed service offering, it's, as you say, adding in just 1 gig of backup to an antivirus offering. It's a huge differentiator, because if that's on the success matrix, or if that's on the requirement matrix in the tender, like it must include cloud backup or a cloud cache for restore, it limits the options of who can contend, and more importantly, for the partner bidding, it opens up a future revenue opportunity by them picking the right technology to introduce that. And going in with the Cyber Protect Cloud platform, they might only be bidding on antivirus at the moment, or anti-malware, but device management or patch management can be introduced very easily and without a complex tender cycle later on, because the cost will be nominal. It's already an onboarded vendor, it's an onboarded provider. It changes the dynamics of the discussion there altogether.
Absolutely. Absolutely, Peter. So, Peter, I want to highlight one more point here, because we, as a MSP, either we are hosters or CSP or any system integrators, we are selling something already. Like I'm selling hosting, the system integrators, they are selling, let's say, laptop, desktop, servers, or some other devices, right? Uh, we always recommend that you bundle some other services so that you can get some good margin and good profitability for them. Obviously, bundling, we can create the packages, Acronis packages, and then we can bundle with any of the devices, or with either with the hardware or software, anything. For them, one of the strategy I would recommend to the MSPs, that wherever possible, they can use the Acronis brand name. Okay, we are bundling the Acronis packages there. Or for the customers, let's say example, their target market is under 50 user, very small users, example, then there is no need to complicate the thing. They can just mention, okay, I'm selling, let's say, laptop, and with laptop I'm selling backup as a service from X company. By not mentioning the Acronis in the package, they will actually not focusing on the competition, because the end customer don't know whether it's Acronis or it's a non-Acronis. They just need, okay, it's a backup as a service. Which company is providing, I don't know. I know the MSP who is providing the services for me. So they can eliminate the competition by not by using the white labeling services of the Acronis, and they can bundle the various packages from the Acronis. I think that's the strategy I would recommend the MSP who is selling to very starters or low segment or low user segment.
Yeah, I would say white labeling is a powerful strategy, especially when we think about an MSP that has certain kind of relations and history of providing good service for particular customers. So actually the power of their brand would also help in getting these customers on this. So yeah, whenever possible, I believe white labeling should be used.
Correct, because I know a few of the MSPs, they are using this strategy, and in fact they have given their brand name. Okay, my brand name is, let's say, XYZ. So I'm selling backup as a service from XYZ brand, and in the backend they are using Acronis as a platform. So they are building their own brand. They have actually productized the offering with their brand name. The OEM is Acronis, and they are selling with their name. So it's up to the customer segment where they are going. If you are selling, let's say, to the very large enterprise or mid enterprise customers, then might be the Acronis brand name they should take, because Acronis is known for cyber protection. So it will be good, they can carry the brand name. But if they are not they are selling to very small segment or very micro SMB, then they can they can they can decide whether they should take the Acronis brand name or they can sell with their own brand. So I think it was a, very good discussion. Uh, uh, any final point any of you want to add, or we can just end this podcast?
Oh, just a small point. I think it's a major opportunity for the industry, this MSP concept. And why it is opportunity for industry? Because eventually IT services would be more reliable and better, more secure. And it's good business opportunity, not only in developed markets, but on emerging markets as well. And why I'm confident in that? Because as I said, I talk to many MSPs, and sometimes they just don't realize they're MSPs. So you start asking questions, what kind of services they provide, and people answer, yeah, we do installation, configuration, we do technical support, we do maintenance. Yeah, if something happens, we kind of take care of that. But that's actually a managed service. So it's just an opportunity to monetize, implement the right tools, expand the offerings, package them the right way, and keep providing that best service for customers. So great opportunity for everybody in the industry, and encourage kind of our partners to get maximum of it.
Yeah, I think in closing for me, one key point that stands out in the MSP discussion, and I won't go down this rabbit hole too deep, but it's picking your lane as an MSP. You don't necessarily need to be everything to everyone. You pick your industry, you pick your typical customer base, so you're not serving the SOHO and the small enterprise, trying to retrofit one offering to the other. The market is rapidly growing, the opportunity is there, and if you pick your business size, your segment, say we'll only cover, I don't know, dental practices and veterinarians with 10 to 20 workstations maximum, there's a huge market, and you can differentiate and build your pitch and your offering and your process that best serves that market. It's not the traditional resale model where you listen for every opportunity you can and you try and find a way just to make a few percent on a sale. This is about recurring revenue. It's about customer service contracts. It's about ongoing relationship and selling that peace of mind into a repeatable fashion where you can optimize your cost base by aggregating multiple clients of a similar framework or similar pattern and similar need base, and then maximizing the margins on the back end in that process. So, Munesh, Pasha, it's been a pleasure chatting. Thank you very much. I look forward to a follow-up.
Yeah, Peter,
Thank you,
thank
Peter,
you.
and thank you, Pasha. I just need 1 more minute. I'm just adding whatever the Peter is saying, that we MSP has to find their own market, package accordingly, because every package should be different as per the market and the target segment. Loyalty matters, so that is important. So I would definitely recommend to MSPs that they should focus on one partnership. So there are many other vendors also there in the market. So they should focus on one vendor and go deep. So that's what we did with Acronis, and we are happy that we partnered with Acronis, and we are like married. So every good and every bad things we are together, right? So we are because of the loyalty, we grown very good, and we are committed for the Acronis partnership, and we are committed that how we can help to our MSPs, and so that they can grow. And we also want to empower our MSPs so that they can use the digital power, how they can use the digital marketing and other digital activities to acquire more customers, and also the also the automation capabilities. With that, uh, thank you, Peter, and thank you, Pasha, for your time. I think it was a great discussion. I'm not sure that whether we can do this kind of discussion in webinars, but it was great discussion with both of you.
Thank you, Munesh, for invitation. Yeah, it was great to see you, a great discussion, and wishing you all the best and good success in business. Thank you.